Welcome to English Talk with Emma. I'm so glad you're here.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to English Talk with Emma, your daily podcast for practicing real, everyday English. I'm Emma, your host.
And I'm Mark. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We have new lessons for you every single day.
Mark, are you okay? You look like you just finished a marathon. Your face is completely red, and you are literally sweating.
I literally sprinted all the way from the subway station to the studio. My legs feel like absolute jelly right now. I don't think I can stand up for the rest of the day.
Oh no, what in the world happened this morning? Did you oversleep again? Because I know how much you love hitting the snooze button.
Worse. Much worse. Today's my wife Sarah's birthday. I ordered a beautiful, custom-made chocolate cake from that fancy bakery downtown, the one on Fifth Avenue. I told the bakery I would be there to pick it up at exactly 8 a.m. sharp. But when I got there, they couldn't find my order anywhere.
Ugh, what a nightmare! Especially on her birthday! Did they manage to fix it?
Yes, thankfully. But I had to stand there and wait 30 extra minutes for them to bake a new layer, frost it, and carefully box up a brand new one. By the time I finally left the bakery with the cake, it was already 8:30. And you know perfectly well how bad the downtown traffic is at that hour. Our podcast recording starts at 9 o'clock. I ran down the street to the subway, holding this giant, heavy cake box, dodging people on the sidewalk, and I jumped onto the train just as the doors were closing.
I can totally picture that happening to you. You holding a giant cake, running for your life. That is hilarious.
It wasn't funny at the time.
I finally burst through the studio doors at exactly 8:58. I made it just in time.
2 minutes to spare. That is a very close call. Your heart must still be pounding.
It is. And here's the funny part. I texted Sarah that I survived the morning commute and got to the studio. She asked me, "Were you on time for your podcast recording?" I typed back, "No, but I was in time." She replied, "Wait, what is the difference? Aren't those the same thing?"
That is a fantastic question from Sarah. Do you actually know the difference, Mark?
Honestly, I just guessed. I have been using them randomly my whole life, depending on what sounds right in the moment. Are they actually different?
They absolutely are. On time and in time describe completely different situations and feelings. And honestly, this is actually a huge source of confusion for English learners everywhere. Even native speakers sometimes mix them up or use them interchangeably without thinking.
Okay, good. I feel much better knowing I am not the only one who gets confused by this.
Today, we will master 3 important phrases: on time, in time, and at a time. 3 expressions using the word time that mean completely different things.
Wait, at a time is on the list too? How does that fit in?
You will see in a few minutes. Let's start with the easiest one first. Let's talk about on time, because it is the most straightforward.
All right, I am ready. What exactly does on time mean?
On time means punctual. It means something happens at the exact scheduled time. Not early, not late, exactly when everyone expected it to happen.
Okay, so if our podcast recording is scheduled to start at 9 a.m. and I arrive at exactly 9 a.m., I am on time?
Exactly. The meeting started on time. The airplane departed on time. The train arrived on time. It is all about matching a predetermined schedule or a plan perfectly.
What if I arrive at 8:55? Am I still considered on time or am I something else?
Yes, arriving a few minutes early is still perfectly on time. Being on time simply means you respect the schedule and you are present when you need to be. You haven't missed anything. Saying someone is always on time is a massive compliment in English. It means they are extremely reliable, dependable, and professional.
Sarah definitely does not say that about me. I am never reliable with clocks or schedules. So, what about in time? How is that different from what we just talked about?
Let's compare them. In time means you are not too late. It means you arrived before a deadline or before something important finished happening. You had enough time to do what you needed to do, even if it was close.
So, this morning I was in time for the podcast. I made it before 9 a.m. before we started recording, but I wasn't really on time because I was rushing, panicking, sweating, and almost missed the whole thing.
That is a brilliant way to look at it. Think of on time like hitting a perfect bullseye on a dartboard. You hit the exact target exactly when you plan to. But in time is like running through a heavy door right before it closes and locks you out. You are safe, you made it inside, but it is messy and stressful.
A bullseye versus surviving a closing door. That makes perfect sense. I am definitely the guy sliding through the closing door.
Precisely. On time looks at the clock. In time looks at the deadline. And notice this. We often add the prepositions for or to right after it to show what we are trying not to miss. We arrived in time for dinner. I got home in time to watch the basketball game. She called in time to warn us.
So there is always an event or an action you are trying not to miss. In time to catch the train. In time to say goodbye to my parents. In time for the big presentation.
You got it perfectly. And that brings us to the phrase you used earlier when you walked in, just in time. This is a very common variation. This means you barely made it. You had absolute zero time to spare.
Like me carrying that birthday cake today. Just in time.
Exactly. The phrase just in time is full of drama. It's a specific feeling, a mix of panic and massive relief when you finally sit down. Your shoulders drop, you take a deep breath, and you realize you survived.
Sometimes people also say right on time. Is that different from just on time or just in time?
Yes, it is. Right on time means perfectly punctual, exactly at the expected moment. It adds a satisfying emphasis. Imagine you are waiting for a pizza. The delivery guy rings the doorbell at exactly 7 p.m. You would say, "Wow, you are right on time." It has a positive, impressed feeling.
What is the opposite of just in time? I want to live my life like that instead. I am tired of the drama.
The opposite is ahead of time. This means doing something before the scheduled time or deadline. You are early, prepared, and completely relaxed. She finished her homework ahead of time. We arrived at the concert ahead of time.
Ahead of time. That sounds so peaceful. No running, no sweating, no dropping cakes.
Let's test your understanding with a stress scale. Imagine you have a flight leaving at 3 p.m. If you arrive at the airport at 12:30 p.m., sit at the gate, grab a coffee, and read a book. What are you?
I am ahead of time. Zero stress. Very classy, very relaxed. Normal airport experience.
Correct. What if you arrive at 1:30 p.m., which is exactly the recommended time they tell everyone to check in?
I am on time. Smooth, expected, and following the schedule perfectly.
Good. Now, what if you arrive at 2:45 p.m.? They are boarding the plane, the gate is open, but you find your seat without holding anyone up.
I am in time. I didn't miss the flight, but my heart is beating fast, and I am definitely nervous.
Finally, what if you arrive at 2:55 p.m.? You are literally sprinting through the terminal with your bags bouncing, you dodge security, and you slide up to the gate just as the agent is closing the final door.
That is just in time. That is literally me on every vacation Sarah and I have ever taken. She stands at the gate glaring at me while I catch my breath.
Perfect! See how the vocabulary changes the entire feeling of the story? It is an emotional stress scale. Ahead of time is calm. On time is professional. In time is surviving. And just in time is an action movie scene.
I master those completely now. That scale is brilliant. But what about at a time? Does that fit on the stress scale anywhere?
No, it doesn't. At a time involves the word time, but it has a totally different job. It is not about punctuality or clocks at all. It is about quantity or pace. The most common phrase is one at a time.
Like a school teacher saying to a noisy classroom, "Please speak one at a time," meaning, do not talk all at once because I can't hear you.
Exactly. It means individually, sequentially, one by one. Please enter the room one at a time. Answer the test questions one at a time. Focus on one thing before moving to the next.
I eat my French fries 3 at a time when I am really hungry. Is that another way to use the phrase?
Yes, absolutely. You can change the number to fit the situation. He was running late, so he took the stairs 2 at a time. We also use it with periods of time to show that something continues without stopping. For example, for hours at a time, or for days at a time.
Like my neighbor's little dog. It sits in the yard and barks for hours at a time. It never takes a break to drink water or sleep.
Exactly. That emphasizes the uninterrupted duration. Finally, there is one more very common use. We use at a time like this to talk about a very serious, important, or emotional situation.
Oh, I know this one. Like in a dramatic movie when someone cracks a joke during a funeral and another character says, "How can you laugh at a time like this?"
Spot on, Mark. It adds heavy weight and gravity to the moment. So let's summarize. On time is about the schedule. In time is about the deadline. At a time is about the pace or quantity.
Schedule, deadline, pace. That makes perfect sense. Let me try to put all of these into a quick story to prove I learned it.
Go for it. Let's hear your best story.
Last week, Sarah and I hosted a big dinner party. I bought all the groceries ahead of time so I wouldn't stress. The guests arrived right on time at exactly 6 p.m. I served the delicious dishes one at a time so everyone could enjoy the flavors. But then the oven suddenly caught fire. I grabbed the fire extinguisher just in time before the whole kitchen burned down.
Wow, that was incredible. Every single use was completely natural and grammatically correct.
And after the fire was out, Sarah looked at me and said, "It's about time you learned to use that fire extinguisher." That is a bonus phrase, right?
Yes, it is. It's about time is a fixed phrase that means something should have happened sooner. It usually shows a little bit of mild frustration or impatience. If you are waiting for a friend for an hour and they finally show up, you say, "Well, it's about time."
I like that one. It's a bit sarcastic.
Exactly. Another amazing bonus phrase is from time to time. This simply means occasionally or sometimes, not regularly. For example, I eat healthy food every day, but from time to time, I treat myself to a giant chocolate milkshake.
For me, it is the opposite. I eat junk food every day, but from time to time, I eat a salad.
All right, let's do our final comprehensive vocabulary review. We covered a ton of important phrases today. Let's lock them into your memory before we finish.
Let's go! I am ready to review. Read 'em out.
First, on time means punctual, at the exact scheduled time. The meeting started on time. It is about hitting a schedule perfectly. On time, punctual, reliable, and exactly when expected. Second, in time means not too late. You made it before the deadline or before something ended. We arrived in time for the movie previews. In time, before it is too late. Remember, it is about making it through the door before it closes. Third, just in time means barely before it is too late. Maximum drama, minimum time to spare. I got to the subway just in time. Just in time. Relief mixed with panic. Fourth, right on time means perfectly punctual. It adds strong emphasis and a feeling of being impressed. The package delivery arrived right on time. Right on time. Extra satisfaction. Fifth, ahead of time means before the deadline, much earlier than expected. She finished the massive project ahead of time. It is comfortable, prepared, and planned. Ahead of time, the stress-free option. Sixth, one at a time means one by one, individually, not all at once. Answer the interview questions one at a time. It is about pace, sequence, and focus. One at a time. Seventh, for hours at a time means continuously, without stopping. He plays complicated video games for hours at a time. It emphasizes a long length of uninterrupted time. For hours at a time. Eighth, at a time like this means in an emotional, serious, or grave situation. We really need to support each other at a time like this. At a time like this adds heavy weight and seriousness to a conversation. Ninth, it's about time. This means finally, or this should have happened much sooner. It's about time you cleaned your messy bedroom. Slightly sarcastic and impatient. It's about time. And 10th, from time to time. This means occasionally. I like to cook fancy meals from time to time. Not regularly, just sometimes when the mood strikes. From time to time. A very natural way to say sometimes in everyday English.
That is a perfect comprehensive list. I feel so much more confident about using all of these correctly now. No more guessing for me.
That is wonderful to hear. Now, we have a question for all our amazing listeners out there. Tell us down in the comments below. Are you usually an on-time person who loves schedules? Or are you a chaotic, just-in-time person like Mark? We absolutely love reading your stories and answers.
Be honest, guys. No judgment here. I am definitely a proud just-in-time guy, and I know I am not the only one out there.
If you enjoyed this English lesson, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this episode with a friend who is also learning English. We will see you all tomorrow right here with another easy, fun conversation. Bye, everyone.
See you next time, guys. Have a great day.